We played in Tempe. We went to Tempe Beach, played. We went to Coolidge, Casa Grande, and Superior, and Miami, Arizona.
Did you ever play against anybody in Phoenix?
No.
Okay, so it was kind of like the East Valley?
Yeah, I know, yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. What was your favorite sport to play?
I'd say in high school it was football. And then basketball, and as short as I was, I still made the varsity.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course when I came back I was too old to play, so we couldn't participate in any sports then.
Oh, yeah. What was it that you liked about football?
I played quarterback.
You were the quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback.
Wow.
I called the signals, and I ran with the ball, and I handed out to him and everything. So, but football was my favorite actually in high school.
Why did you like it?
I don't know. It just because I used to watch it on TV and on the radio, a lot of it, and football, and that's about it. And then Coach Watts he was in the Navy when we were drafted. He went in the Navy, and when we came back, and before he came back, he says, Lefty, he says, if you come back from the service, he says, go to college and take graphing. He wanted me to be a what is it that make
draftsman?
Like drafting?
yeah, drafting for
Mm-hmm.
homes, and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Mechanical drawings.
Mechanical
Yeah,
drawings
yeah.
do like floor plans
Right,
and for the architects
And he says,
stuff.
you'll make a good one. He says, left-handed? Yeah. He says, well, look at your writing, He could tell right away. He said, there's nothing wrong with you. You write better than I do, and I write right-handed.
So what was it that made you such a good writer?
I have no idea, because at home we just, at first we didn't have a television, and we all listened to the radio, and I used to like to read and write, and that's how I became with my writing. Yeah, for being left-handed, usually he says your left-handed writers some of you can't even read their writing, and I made sure that my signature was just right, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. What were your favorite subjects in high school?
Mathematics.
You like mathematics, huh?
Yeah, I liked it. History, I didn't care too much, but mathematics I did.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't even get a chance to take algebra.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah. Oh God, that would have been my
Yeah, you can do that.
my favorite.
Here, I'm just gonna
Oh.
I'm gonna put this up in front of you. Now
Oh,
he's
okay.
gonna use that. I'll just hold it right here.
Actually, can you use this? 'Cause I just need it a little
Sure.
bigger.
Oh, okay.
It's for the camera, Lefty.
What's that?
So it's a little magic trick for the camera.
Oh, okay.
It helps balance the camera so that when
Oh.
you can balance the color that's in the camera,
Oh.
so make
Okay.
sure that everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the other way too, so that's cool. Just need to, guess I didn't need to do that. It looks good. Just gotta get something out of the car, and you're already recording everyone things. So
Yeah.
there and here, so.
Oh, okay.
And skis.
Okay.
Yeah, when we first came back, when I first started school, we went to that wind edition school over there, which was first, second, and third grade. In the fourth grade, then we sent us over to Cleveland School, which is Chandler Boulevard now. And
You gotta write all this down.
yeah.
So in the so first through third you're at Wynn, right?
Yeah.
And then fourth through eighth grade
Yeah.
You were at the
And then from
Cleveland
there,
school?
yeah, from there I went to the high school.
Can you tell me about like what it was like to transition from the Wynn school to the Cleveland school? Do you remember that?
Yes, it was kind of embarrassing because we still didn't know how to speak that good English, you know, and there we were mixed. Over there it was all Mexicans, and we be- we were taught not to speak any Spanish, so we could learn it, you know. And every once in a while we'd forget and just or get mad at each other. We'd start cussing each other.
Well, it's your first language.
What's that?
It's your first language.
Oh yeah, it was.
You know, my husband, his first language is Spanish.
Is that right?
Yeah, and so he talks to his family in Spanish, and
Oh dear.
he you know, has a lot of friends that he speaks Spanish with, and he can just switch right back and forth whenever
Oh,
he needs
gee.
to.
And
So.
and when my wife, after when I came back from the service, I went back to school and she was in my class, but we were just friends.
Right.
And we double dated with her cousin and a friend of mine that they had been going steady before World War II, and we came back and we double dated at one time with them, and we got married before they did. And in fact, they were in their wedding party there.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
So we can go ahead and start.
and they live in Casa Grande now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start. We'll
Okay.
do a little bit of family history. So I'll ask you the questions, and then we're just gonna talk a little bit about your early experience growing up in Chandler before we get in, and then most of the interview is gonna be about your military service.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we're gonna be focusing on.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with your parents.
Mhm.
What were your parents' names, and where were they from?
Well, my parents' name was Jose and Guadalupe Soto. The Soto. And at the time, they had been married. Like I said, they came from Mexico November 3rd, 1919, and they started working with Mr. Dobson. And I wasn't born. They had been married a year and a half in Mexico, and I wasn't born until 1924. They came 1919, and I was born 1924.
Which part of Mexico were they from?
Sonora.
Sonora.
Yeah, Sonora,
So one
Mexico.
of the towns in Sonora.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and in I forgot what year it was, but my grandpa was a carpenter and a blacksmith man, and you name it, and he could do it. He used to cut hair around the Mexican towns. People that couldn't afford to pay that $1.50 or whatever, he'd do it for 25 cents or something like that. And but he did all that, but let me tell you another thing to that.
Oh wait.
While we were living in Glendale, Arizona, my mother passed away when I was 5.5, and my sister, which is married to Roy Buelna, she's 80. See, I'll be 85 November 17th of this year, and she'll be 83 and a half. And we're still living here. My mother and dad died when they were still really young. And
So your parents came with your grandparents, right?
Yes,
In 1919. They came straight from Mexico to
from
Chandler?
Mexico to
To the
the
Chandler.
Dobson Ranch there.
Now, tell me your grandparents' name.
Was
The
that?
names of your grandparents,
The same time they came.
and what were their names?
Oh, my grandpa was Pedro Romo Montaño,
Okay.
and my grandma was Luisa Montaño, Bojorquez Montaño.
Okay. Do you know what it was that brought them to the Dobson Ranch? Like, why did they choose that area?
In those days, they were getting people after World War I. They wanted people to come in and help with farm work and stuff like that. So that's how they got here.
So they were kind of recruited?
Yes,
Okay.
And
Because the revolution is just about done by
Yeah.
that time in Mexico.
right.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay. So what kind of work did your father do? You talked that your grandfather
He
did
used-
blacksmith. What did your father do?
Before they got tractors and they used to use horses to get the farm work done, you know. And then they got tractors, and he started driving a tractor. And we lived there for about, I think, I think when we were 8 years old, that's when my grandpa built that house on. We have a house that they built over on Hidalgo Street, 381 South Hidalgo Street.
So you were about 8 years old at that time?
Yes,
So that was probably around 1932 or so.
something like that, yeah.
Okay, so you were born January 19th, 1924? Is that correct?
November 17th, 1924.
I wrote down the wrong date.
I'll be 85 this
Okay.
October. I'm November.
Where were you born at?
And they tell me that it was in Tempe, at some kind of a clinic. But I don't know. It was in Tempe, and then I was baptized in the chapel that they have at the ASU.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
old
okay.
chapel, yeah, that little
Yeah.
old chapel.
That little church?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay. I think at that time that was probably.
We didn't
I
have a
apologize.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that.
we didn't
Well,
we didn't
that's
have
a cat.
a church here in Chandler then either.
Yeah. So that was part of that San Pablo settlement, right?
Yes,
In Tempe.
yeah, right.
Yeah. We're paused for a moment because he's got to fix
Oh,
the.
okay.
Your kitty was playing
Oh,
with
is
the
that it?
little light thing right there. Oh, behind you, the kitty was playing with like the little thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
we had to stop for a minute because you could hear the cat going.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Yeah. We don't want to pick that up
Yeah.
too much.
Oh.
So, is it okay?
Yeah, we're all good. I'm just being honest now.
We can put him out if you want to.
Oh no. I'm gonna
He's just
disrupt.
curious.
Yeah, he's just.
If he
curious.
starts meowing a lot, we might have to put him out. Because you know how cats are. I have 2 cats and I know
Yeah.
how they are.
We have
Yeah. So, so you were born in a clinic in Tempe.
mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
They
do
didn't
you-
have any hospitals in those days, you know?
Right. And you have siblings?
Huh?
You have siblings?
Yeah.
Who are they? What's their names?
The oldest one is Dolores Ferguson. And the next one is Mary Helen. She's the one that's living here with me. She's got two kids. They're living here with me too. And our son was his name is Edward Soto. He's a barber over in that Mace where they have in Tempe.
That's your son?
Yeah,
Okay.
Edward.
So you had 2 sisters?
To what?
You had 2 sisters?
No, one sister.
Oh, 1 sister.
hmm
So it's just Mary Helen is your sister?
Oh no, that's my daughter.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Who's your?
Dolores, Mary Helen is the daughter,
Oh,
and
okay.
Cecilia. Cecilia is the youngest one.
So those are your children.
Yeah,
Your children are Dolores, Mary Helen, Edward, and Cecilia.
Cecilia Oswald.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, but I don't remember what their names are. They're over in Tolleson someplace.
Okay.
These are half brothers and sisters because my dad came and asked my grandma if it was all right. He says, "Hey, you're too young to be single. You have my permission to go get married again." So that's how.
Okay. Because your mom died when you were you said you
Five
were
and a
about
half.
5.
5 and a
So
half.
there weren't any other children.
Well, yeah, my sister, that's still living. She's married to Roy Bualna.
Okay. And what's your sister's name?
Stella.
Estella?
Mm-hmm.
Is that E-S-T?
Estella.
Okay.
Buelna.
Buelna. Okay. Estella Buelna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's married to
Roy Buelna.
Roy Buelna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And was Estella older than you?
No, younger.
Younger. Do you, so if you were born in 1924, what year was she born in?
She was born in 1926 or 7. I can't remember. I think it's 27.
Okay.
If not, I'll call her later and I'll give you the.
Yeah. Now, you grew up at 381 South Hidalgo, is that correct?
That's where we moved in from the adoption road.
Okay.
My grandpa built that 3-bedroom house there, and then he built a shed for 4 more beds back there in the back. And in those days, we didn't even have running water. I know we had a canal going in front of our area. Later on, we got water and sewer there too. So we had to have an outhouse back there, and then until we got. And then when he built the house, and we got that, then we got a toilet in the back with 2 seats. So.
Yeah.
But,
What other families were living next to you
there
over
was
there?
a lot of Rosario family was a Rosas family, and I can't remember some of those people, but they were all Mexican.
Rosales?
Yeah. But there was, I'd say, at least 11 or 12 homes there.
Okay.
Oh, and then no, go ahead. Ask me and then.
All right. So you said that when you started first grade at the Wynn School, you were
Mhm.
already 10 years old?
Yeah.
Is that correct? And then you were at the Wynn School from 1st to 3rd grade?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe the Wynn School for me?
Yeah, well, it was just a classroom with about, say, 30, maybe 25 or 30 chairs, desks, and all we had was we'd go in the morning and we'd have a little recess to go to the bathroom and just bring it back, and then at noon they gave us an hour for lunch, and we had to take our own lunch because they didn't have any cafeterias or anything there. So, and then we'd go to school till about 3:30 and walked. I had to walk from Hidalgo Street all the way across the railroad track to the Wynn School.
Yeah, quite a distance.
Oh yeah, but like I said, maybe that's why I've been so lucky to be around, all that walking that I did with the infantry, and then you come in and carry mail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
But,
we'll talk a little
mhm.
bit more about
Oh
that.
yeah.
So at the Wynn School, were the grades 1 through 3 all in one classroom?
No, we
Or
had
were they separate?
there was 4 rooms, 2 on this side and 2, and then there was a hallway in there where we could hang our coats or sweaters or whatever we had, And if we had a lunch, we could put a lunch up there on top too. We had lockers on with our.
What do you think about? What is your memory about the kind of quality of education that you received at Wynn School?
I thought it was real good, very good. I mean, I'd say, they would not allow us to speak Spanish anyway, and so we had to speak English. And they did have some, aside from the teachers, they had a couple of aides there that made sure that we would speak English instead of Spanish. So.
What would happen if you spoke Spanish?
Oh, that we would sit down over there. You can't play until you go back and don't do it again. And
Was
that's
that
the way
difficult?
It helped. Oh yeah, it helped a lot.
Was it difficult?
No, not really.
Yeah. It wasn't difficult?
No, and they weren't mean about it. They were, just, he says, we're doing it for your own self. He says, And I'm glad they did, because now my Spanish is the one that suffered. Because my kids none of them speak any Spanish. My wife and I used to talk Spanish when we didn't want them to know what we were saying. And it worked. But none of them, like I said, the daughter that lives here with me, nothing. I can say something in Spanish and she won't know what I'm saying.
Do you remember any of the teachers at Wynn School?
Hmm?
Do you remember any of the teachers at Wynn School?
No,
You don't remember any of the teachers?
Well, wait a minute. Oh, gee. I can't remember, to tell you the truth. I think that, no.
Were any of the teachers Hispanic
No.
or not?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, when you got into 4th grade, then you went to Cleveland School, right?
Yeah, the Cleveland school.
And they integrated you with the other
And
children.
with the others, and we still spoke Spanish outside when we could get away with it.
Right.
But
What was it like to make that transition from Wynn School to Cleveland School?
well, I thought it was going to be hard, but it wasn't. By then, and then I also while I was going to school there, I got me a shoe shine box, and I used to shine shoes in downtown, People would come in, and we had our own favorite customers that used to come in and get their shoe shined with us. So, and they give us 15, 20 cents, something like that for them.
Where did you set up your box at?
One of those that we could carry and go in front of the stores there, and the stores never mind. They never complain about shining shoes. In fact, some of them would come and have their shoes shined with us too. So.
Did you have people from the San Marcos Hotel?
No, we didn't.
Shine?
No.
That's interesting. Okay.
But I knew the Cordys, and I knew the family. I met them because they used to go to our church. So.
Now, well, once you graduated from 8th grade, then you went to Chandler High School.
Chandler High School,
Okay.
Hold on one second. I just noticed something I never noticed before.
Are you having a sound issue?
Yeah. I don't really hear it on his mic, so it's
Is it the fan?
it's all right. No, it would be this, but I don't really hear it on his mic too much. That's fine.
Okay.
I just hear it on this one, your mic, so it's all right. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I
Go
think we're
ahead.
gonna have a lot of little noises.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in Chandler
Mm-hmm.
in 1940 or so.
Right.
So, what was it that you were doing before the war started?
Before the war started. Oh, I started after I gave up my shoe shine. I started I worked for George Waiwa. That used to be a Chinese store right across from Bashas.
On Boston?
Yeah, right across from Bashas. And then, because I would go to school, and then after school I would go over there and refill the shelves with canned goods, for them, and I never did any carry out for them. And Mr. Basha, Ike Basha, saw me one time. He said, by the way, he says, how much are they paying you over there? I says, 45 cents an hour. If I give you 65, would you come and work for me? So I went to work for him, restocking the shelves after football practice and basketball practice and all that. And I worked for Mr. Basha, Ike Basha, for about 5 years or something like that. And then I went, like I said, it was called to service. We came back, and when I came back, I was drafted right after my sophomore year in high school because I was, like I said, 2 years behind.
So how old were you when you were drafted?
Because we had to register,
Right.
and at a certain age you had
Yeah.
to.
So were you 18 at that
So
time?
they called me.
Okay.
So I went to took my physical and I passed it. Took my basic training and sent me to California. From there they sent me to Camp Gruber, Oklahoma, and I took my basic training there, which was six and a half months, and then they sent me to California, and from there they sent me to New Guinea after my advanced training. I had 6 weeks of advanced training, and they sent me to New Guinea, and there the 33rd Infantry Division was there, and I was picked from the 33rd Infantry Division. They sent me to New Guinea there, and I went to war with them right there.
Let me backtrack just a little bit, and then we'll go more into that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll go back a little bit. Think back a little bit to December 7th, 1941,
Oh,
on when Pearl Harbor was attacked. Do you remember where you were
yes,
when you
I
heard about
remember.
that?
Yeah, we were at the Rowena Theater on Boston Street there. We were at when they interrupted them, and they had been attacked by Pearl Harbor. It's December 7th, and I remember President Roosevelt saying December 7th, 1947. Yeah, 41. Anyway, and they interrupted the movie and the shows. I says from then on, I just left. I didn't even stay to watch the rest of the movie.
How did you feel?
Well, I didn't feel like because I tried to volunteer, like I said, and they wouldn't take me. So I waited until they drafted me. And
But you were ready to go?
oh yeah, my grandma wasn't ready to let us go, but because my uncle had already gone, but they sent him to Europe, and we were just about 7-8 months difference. And he